And in these last, I think it's okay if we go over a few minutes. Can you guys just both leave us with a few thoughts about kind of what we've talked about today and what we need to know for moving forward? And I don't, either one can start.
Well, I can begin and leave the esteemed Dr. Nucci with the last word, because I want to hear that too. I think, and it goes, I think, Dr. Harris, to a question that you asked that we didn't quite get to, but in thinking about everything that we've talked about, are the students ready for it? Are kids ready for it? And I think the answer to that is absolutely they're ready for it. White kids, Black kids, Latino, Asian, it does not matter. And all ages too, age appropriate ways, but all ages. I mean, we know that kids that's, a couple of months old are already be able to identify people by race because of the cues and clues from their caregivers, right? So pretending as though they're not ready to expose and have conversation is designed to make us comfortable, right? It's not designed to protect anybody but our own sense and sensibility. So everything that we talked about today and through this entire workshop, I think we have to take it into the classroom because the kids are ready. They're absolutely ready for it. The hang up is us as adults. The hang up is us as a nation that we've said that these issues around race and racism are the third rail of polite conversation. Because I know that when I get these students, your students at Ohio State and college, and we start to talk about these serious issues, right, then they wind up going through the 5 stages of grief, right? It's like denial and anger and all this other stuff. But then at the end, right, what do they want to do something about it, right? And then they don't get mad at me, right, for having introduced this stuff in the classroom. They get mad at their teachers who had the chance to and never did, right? So you don't want to be that teacher, right? You want to be the teacher who comes in, who my students like, oh, Dr. Jeffrey, so-and-so told me about this, right? In the 4th grade, in the 5th grade, and I'm ready to dive in. The kids are ready, and it's our obligation, it's our duty, in fact, to prepare them and to teach them this material.
Well, the only thing that I would add, I agree completely with everything that you just said. I would just simply say that education is a moral activity. It's a moral enterprise. It's not neutral. And if you are an educator, you have a moral obligation to engage in helping young people engage with the issues of their time and take them on in a serious way. And it means helping them become grounded in their own history, in the history of their country, in the history of the students around them, learning how to listen and to have a dialogue with their peers, and to become committed, active citizens in their own democracy. It's our obligation as educators to do this. We have a choice. I mean, you can choose to not do it, but if you do that, in my mind, you've chosen not to be an educator. I think if you elect to be an educator, you have this as an obligation. It's part of what you must do. And it is a struggle. We have these political forces, but the reason that they're acting is because, in fact, we're effective. They're scared. That's why these laws are happening. They can feel their power potentially slipping away because, in fact, if young people are able to talk with each other, are able to face their own history honestly, they want to make the world better. And it means it's going to have to change. And the people who've, are in power and have benefited from the way that things have been are in jeopardy, and they're going to fight back. So that's what's going on now, and that's why our democracy is in jeopardy. But I don't honestly think that any educator has a choice about this. We really don't. So that's what I'll end with.